Hi friends, this is Tracy Brown, and my team and I of non-diet dietitians provide trauma-informed nutrition counseling so that you can feel safer in your own skin. And I just had this is just going to be a really quick video today because someone asked me a really direct question and I want to answer it directly, and hopefully it helps you all either validate the journey that you're already on, or maybe it reminds you that, oh, maybe I should work on some of that. So they asked me about well, should I see my way at the doctor? Should I cover my mirrors? When or how should I do these things? And I know that's a super actually complex question because it really depends on you, where you've been, where you're going, and all that. But I will give you some generalities. Is that I think that body image, I guess, restoration or peace and respect for honestly what we look like. I'm not really going to talk today about the physical comforts and discomforts of life of having a body and all the things our bodies go through. That's a different conversation, and it's a very, really great one and worthy. But it won't be included in today's. So today is really about the outsides, the aesthetics, right? Maybe the number on the scale or the size of our clothes or whatever that this is all kind of revolving around. And so what I'll say is at the beginning, I know for me personally that I could not go anywhere near focusing on what I look like. For me to be able, I didn't have the emotional maturity and I didn't have the capacity to be able to notice too much changes that were happening as I was getting my body healed, from years of restricting and binging and the chaos and the trauma that caused. I couldn't really focus on if my body was changing or not. I just had to dress comfortably. And it wasn't like I was purposely kicking the can down the road. It's just that I needed some space to be able to kind of do one thing at a time. And for me, that was, I really desperately wanted to have some eating competence to be able to go out with people and do those things. So step one for me was, I didn't really pay too much attention to what was going on with my body. But I did have a commitment to myself, is that, we can't do what we look like avoidance forever, but there's a time and a place for that, which brings us to the next stage, which would be maybe having discussions with trusted people about, well, what would it mean if you weighed this number? And if you weighed that number, what would it mean? And really start unpacking and dismantling some of those wounds, dismantling and coming to terms with how we learn those things and what purpose and function do they serve. We know I think that it's about belonging and fear of rejection and all that, but to get really heartfelt and specific for your situation, that we start dealing with that. What do these things mean? And if I gain 1 pound or 5 pounds, what starts to happen inside? Or if I stay the same forever, what would that mean about me? And then starting to look and starting to do, I call it field work with safe people, to try on different clothes at different places and be able to know and be able to have, build your capacity essentially. Same thing with the doctor's office. If there's a season where it's do it blind and don't tell me, just don't. I didn't need to focus on other parts of recovery right now. And then there are going to be seasons where it's time to know and to be able to see that number and it'd be oh, okay, the sky is blue, because your focus now has really been on the benefits of eating competence, of full permission, of working with and through and on your values and how you show up in the world, and seeing that it's never really been 100% true that everyone is going to criticize you, reject you, cares that much about it. Sure, are there people that have that programming and that conditioning and can project on us? Totally. We can't get rid of that. And that's another part of this work too, is learning how to have some acceptance that may happen. And the work really isn't preventing that with having a smaller body. The work is, how do I negotiate being a human on this planet with other people that still hold on to values that thinner is, you're just better. And, we're not talking about health here. We're just talking about the aesthetics of what people, how they try to put people in lesser than, better than categories, and how people are treated. There's work to be done there too. So that's my answer to the question when someone asks me, like, with body image, this work I'm doing, do I see that way? Do I not? When do I do it? So I just gave you a couple examples here of how I have those conversations with people and working through that. If you want a great book that does a lot of good decoding work, it's older. Not everybody will, it's older, so there's not going to be as updated things as it maybe some people are negotiating these days. But why I find this a timeless book is because there's a lot of great exercises in there that are very effective, to be honest, that I don't think enough people actually do. When I get new people coming in and they've read a lot of books, they haven't done any of this work yet, even if they've seen other practitioners. So I think it's really interesting, and it's a little heads up and a little head start for people in this body image work domain. So again, it's called When Women Stop Hating Their Bodies by Hirschman and Munter. It's an older book, but it's just still one of my favorites because it gives you some activities to work on to really get to the heart of things. And I think that's where it has to come down to. We have to unblend our here and now self, who has competence and energy and has values, from these other aspects of ourselves, the threat response stuff and the desires from our times in our life when we've had some adversity and hard stuff that we're feeling a little stuck there. And it feels like that stuff hijacks our adult moving on sometimes. So it does some of that work, and I think it's really helpful. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate y'all coming here live. If you have questions, please put them in the comments below and tag me, and I'll be happy to connect with you with that. If you need more support, you can reach out to us for this kind of work as well. So thanks so much, and take care. Bye for now.